for Seniors, episode 23. August 31st, not quite September yet, but August 31st today, and soon to be September tomorrow. I'd like to welcome everyone today. Hewie, are you here?
I'm here.
Great. And Bob, are you here?
I'm here, and I've got my mask on. I don't want to infect anybody with the summer cold I caught.
Yeah, I had it too. It's called my grandson. Those little guys, you know, they seem to be a reservoir of viruses. And our special guest today, which you will be talking to us soon, is Chris and Jim Guld from Geeks on Tour. They are going to be talking about their new book launch and have a special deal for everybody today. So get your pen out and keep track of this, because they're going to give you a special deal today. Ray Baxter, are you here?
I'm here. Ready, willing, and able.
Ready, willing, and able. Good. And Dewey, I see you're here.
Dewey, yes.
Or
Dewey's
Hewie.
here too.
Yes,
Hewie and Dewey are both here.
Yes, I am here, and there will be a first for me, which I will announce later today.
Oh, really? Oh, this is a big meeting. We're going to have lots of firsts. Well, the first thing that I wanted to talk about today is the newsletter. After a lot of work and a lot of thought, we finally have our newsletter up and running, and we had the first edition out. Now, you're going to say, I didn't get the newsletter. Well, of course you didn't get the newsletter. Let me explain how this will work. What happened is originally when Hewie and I came up with this idea of Tech for Senior, it was going to be a short-term sort of thing, but it's evolved into this big project, and we're now so excited about it. We've committed to it for how long? I don't know. What do you think, Hewie? How long are we going to do this for? I guess he's busy. Anyway, so we don't know, but it's a long-term commitment. The problem is we don't know who everyone is. We have no idea who everybody is in the meeting today. There's 65 people here, but I don't know how to get a hold of everybody. Originally, it was mostly people from our computer club who were able to, and I was able to, through our computer newsletter, I was able to keep in touch with those people. But it's now grown, and the number of people is increased, and also where they're from is different. So we need a method by which we can communicate with everybody, and that, of course, would have been through a newsletter. Now, it took a while for me to think about this and come up with an idea. One of the things that was important for me was your security. I didn't want to get into social media. I didn't want to do the newsletter like that. So we planned this quite a bit, and I talked to Chris and Jim Guld. They were instrumental in helping me get this organized. So I can assure you that Tech for Senior owns the database, and there's no way anyone is ever going to get a hold of that. So your personal information is secure, but all we want is your first name and your email address. That's it. That's all you need. So to sign up for our newsletter, let me just share my screen. This is our website, techforsenior.com. And if you come down here, you'll see here's the little sign up form for signing up to the newsletter. All that you do is you put your email address in and your first name in there, and hit subscribe, and you will be subscribed to our newsletter. For those of you who asked earlier, register for learning Chromebooks is right here. That's the link that you can use. Just click that link and you'll be connected to, and you'll be able to register.
Ron, I reposted the link as a link in the chat box.
Right, super duper. So that's how you sign up for the newsletter. Now, those of you who are get our club newsletter will already get this newsletter, so you don't need to sign up. So if you already are getting our club newsletter, I took the database from our club and I moved it over here, so you will automatically be getting the newsletter, and you should have probably got it. I sent one out yesterday, and it will, and you should have got it now. So if you want to keep in touch on our journey as we move through this Tech for Senior, please subscribe. The newsletter will probably come out twice a week. I usually send it out reminder on Saturdays, and then I send the link for our recorded session on Tuesdays. Probably once a week. I've talked to Bob, and Bob's going to do a Bob's security corner, we might call it, or Bob's tip. The security tip. We'll figure out that. Ray's going to do something for us. So there will be regular articles in the newsletter for you. So I want it to be meaningful, and we'll be able to keep in touch with you and tell you what's happening. So I would really encourage you to go over and sign up for the newsletter. Now, for people in our club, for people in our computer club from Silver Ridge, you will be getting both. You'll be getting Tech for Senior, and you'll be getting the club newsletter. If you are a member of the club, please don't unsubscribe from the club newsletter, because if you unsubscribe from the club newsletter, then it cancels your membership in the club, which is a bad thing. So don't do that. If you are not a member of the club and you don't want club news, then you certainly could unsubscribe and just continue on with the Tech for Senior. So I'll leave that up to you. I'll leave that up to everyone and what they want to do. But please, please sign up, and we'll have a lot of fun with this. And I think it's a good communication tool. All right, that's about it for me. I think I'm going to turn it over now to the wonderful, the talented, oh my gosh, she's so smart, and they have such a great show. I'm going to turn it over to Chris Guld. There you go, Chris. Take it away. I made you co-host, so you should be able to share your screen.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. You forgot good looking, Ron.
Oh, yes, okay.
Come on now.
I know.
And young. We say that learning keeps you young. So we are going backwards in our years. We are learning so much all the time. And speaking of learning, so I'm Chris, for those of you who don't know me.
And I'm Jem, for those of you who don't care. She's the important one.
Together we call ourselves Geeks on Tour. But over the years, photos seems to be our primary topic, and Google Photos is my specialty now. I really like talking to computer clubs because I know that you guys are into learning. So how many of you do use Google Photos now?
Oh, a bunch of you, yeah.
Okay, a bunch, but not. And I do know people who use Google Photos without learning anything about it. I mean, it's just an app that comes with Android phones, or you can install it on iPhones and you just start using it. Your photos are there. But as I'm sure you all know, the more you learn, the more you get out of your phone, your apps, your photos. So Learn Google Photos is our trademark for this. And yes, as Ron told you, I just finished my 3rd edition of my book on Google Photos, and it is called Learn Google Photos. But we have other resources too. So let me first tell you about our free resources. If you just have some questions, you're not really want to learn everything, you have some questions or you want to keep up, we have a whole website just for Learn Google Photos, learngooglephotos.com, and it is a blog, so you can just go and read the post and learn tidbits about Google Photos. Then we have a YouTube channel. So all of our videos on that YouTube channel, it's a brand new YouTube channel. I think Ron has already told you about this because you guys helped get us to 100 subscribers so that we can get that custom URL. It's just youtube.com/Learn Google Photos. And everything you see there is free. Next is a Facebook group. So if you have questions and you just want to get into discussions with people on Learn Google Photos, facebook.com/groups/Learn Google Photos, or just anywhere in Facebook, you could search for Learn Google Photos. It is a private group. You have to request to join, but if you answer just the 2 basic questions in the beginning, you will get automatically admitted to the Facebook group. So those are for free. But if you really want to learn, I think the book is what puts it all together. I built it mostly as a reference. So there's 13 chapters, 150 pages, and it goes through understanding everything that Google Photos does, both the app and the website, Google Photos. And I am a product expert for Google Photos. Google has recognized me as such.
She's platinum level product expert, so it doesn't get any better than that.
And I was a Picasa. I wrote a book on Picasa before that. So that's why Picasa was Google's photo management offering. And then that went away, and Google Photos is what they are doing now. So I was with Google Photos before there was Google Photos. And I believe that Ron sent this link out previously, Ron or Hewie. I think you sent this link out to people, but in any case, you could get a free chapter of the book. If you're just wondering, well, what is in this book and is it readable? The introductory chapter I set up as a separate PDF. And if you just go to a bit.ly link, bit.ly/LGP, what does LGP stand for, you think?
Learn Google Photos.
-intro, and that's all lowercase. Case is important for this link. When you get there, it will look like you're supposed to sign into a Dropbox account, but you don't have to. Just find the down arrow in the upper right-hand corner, and anybody can download this. So we just got the book done. In fact, it's not quite ready on Amazon yet. Tomorrow or the next day, maybe today. But we have a launch special. The first thing is, so this is the book. Oh, yeah. This is the book, and this is how it comes from Amazon. Does anybody else get annoyed when you go to a page of a book and you lift your hands to go to the keyboard and the book doesn't stay open to the page? I love spiral binding because that's what it allows you to do. But Amazon doesn't do spiral binding. So Jim is going to be doing it. And we have found other places, but it costs a lot more money. So our launch special is that you get the spiral bound, color, autographed book for $24.95 when the normal price will be $34.95. Secondly, I'm going to be doing workshops using Zoom, limited to 12 people, 2 hours. So 12 of you and me on Zoom, and I'll give you exercises and teach about getting the most out of Google Photos. And that is normally $49, but if you get it during our launch along with the book, it's just $20. So instead of a total of $84, our launch special, if you get the book and the workshop, is $44.95. But you don't need to get the workshop. You can just get the book, $24.95. And if you don't care about spiral binding, you can wait for the Amazon and get it there. If you buy our launch special, the workshop, what you're buying is a voucher for the workshop. I mean, they're not actually scheduled yet. I want people to get their books first, and then I will schedule a bunch of these workshops, and you sign up for the one you want using your receipt number as your voucher for that. And you'll be getting an email. You know, if you buy the launch special, you'll be getting an email. So how do you buy? Just go to learngooglephotos.com and scroll down the page a little bit, and you'll see a big red button that says, get the launch special. And you know what to do from there. On Amazon, the book will be available maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day.
But it will be available in the next day or two.
Okay. I think I've taken my time, unless you want to let people ask any questions.
I think we'll wait till the end, Chris. We had a busy day today, so we'll move.
Okay.
We'll move on probably, I think. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Ron. Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to let people know about our new book.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. You had a great show yesterday as well. That was really good.
Thank you.
And did you have a good response? Did you have lots of people sign up for the?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had.
And Hewie's going to be one of the very first recipients of that printed.
All right, great.
Spiral-bound book.
I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Well, that's great. Bob, you're up.
Okie dokie. Sound, share. Let's make it bigger. And let her fly. Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending 8/28/2020. Pandemic triggers most scams in recent history, according to COVID-19 and stimulus reports by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. There have been over 180,000 complaints of coronavirus-related scams this year, and the number continues to climb. Almost 50% of those complaints include financial loss, with an average amount of $290 stolen from each victim. U.S. consumers lost over $120 million to pandemic-related scams. The only event in recent history that spawned a similar surge of scams was the financial crash of 2009. Keep this in mind. If you didn't expect that email, trash it. If you don't know where that link will take you, don't click it. A malicious software development kit was found in over 1,200 iOS apps. Researchers have discovered that an SDK created by Chinese ad network Mintigrel spies on users actively and executes ad fraud in over 1,200 iOS apps. Collectively, the apps have been downloaded about 300 million times a month since July 2019, which puts the total number of downloads in the billions. Some of the more popular affected apps include Helix Jump, Talking Tom, PixArt, Subway Surfers, and Gardenscapes. It's unknown how many iPads and iPhones are impacted by the spyware, but the researchers consider the situation a major privacy concern to hundreds of millions of consumers. FBI CISA warn of backdoor in Chinese tax software. The U.S. government issued a flash alert to American organizations that do business with China, warning of a secret backdoor hidden in the tax software that Chinese banks force foreign companies to install. InfoSecurity reported that the researchers who discovered the backdoor found no way to remove it and suspect that it is in place to allow the remote download of further malware. Once news broke of the discovery, researchers noticed that an uninstaller appeared in the software to erase traces of the backdoor. This reveals the actor's high level of sophistication and operational awareness, wrote the FBI in a flash alert. The software developers in China have not commented on this discovery up till now. Mobile phones with pre-installed malware sold in Africa. The anti-fraud firm Upstream found that 50,000 mobile phones sold in the areas of Ethiopia, Cameroon, Egypt, Ghana, and South Africa contained built-in malware that signed up users for suspicious services without their permission. The phones were manufactured by Chinese company Transition Holdings, which claims the malware was loaded onto the devices by a third-party vendor in the supply chain. Transition added that it attaches great importance to consumers' data security and product safety. Meanwhile, Upstream believes those behind the malware are taking advantage of the most vulnerable part of the population, The University of Utah pays $475,000 in ransom. The University of Utah paid attackers $475,000 for a decryption key after ransomware hit the servers of the school's College of Social and Behavioral Science. The Salt Lake City School has about 33,000 students and 1,600 faculty members, and the university went against the standard advice never to pay ransomware attackers because, it said in a statement, it wanted to protect students and faculty from having their sensitive information published on the internet. And that's this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, Bob. That's great. Thank you,
My
muchly.
pleasure.
Thank you, muchly, and we look forward to your Security Weekly tip now in our newsletter.
Coming next publication.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, Hewie, where is Hewie?
Dewey's right here.
There you go.
And
Now this is really going to be cool. Wait till, I'm so excited. This is going to be funny. All right, go ahead.
I love playing with new toys. And at the end of the, well, I'll talk about it after I do my other presentation, but let's go ahead and go into my presentation today, which is going to be talking about transcribing. Hi, I'm Hewie Poplock. Last week on Tech for Seniors, I talked about dictating to a Google Doc and how to do it. Today I want to talk about using Microsoft Office Online, particularly using Word, and I'm going to go a step farther than dictating, but I am going to show you how you can dictate using the Microsoft Office Word, and then I'm going to show you something that's brand new in Word in the paid or premium version of Microsoft Office. So let's go to Microsoft Office, and I'm going to open up Word. I'm going to create a blank document. You'll see that this is all online. Even though I do have Word installed on my computer, this is using the online version. Now, if you have a free online version, you can do what I'm going to be showing you for this part. The next part will only be for the paid subscribers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up where the microphone is, and notice it says Dictate. Under Dictate, I have two choices, Dictate and Transcribed. For this first part, we're going to just talk about Dictate. I'm just going to show you how easy it is with Microsoft Word to do the same thing that I talked about last week. New paragraph. Locast is a U.S. nonprofit streaming television service that allows users to view live streams of over-the-air television stations, period. These signals are sourced from antennas in each market it serves. All you have to do is sign up online, provide your name and email address, and certify that you live in and are logging on from one of the select U.S. cities known as designated market area, period, new paragraph. And we stop the recording, or we stop the dictation. So this is what we showed you, what I showed you last week, but so it's capable of doing much the same thing, and it does a very good job of it. By the way, this is part of an article from one of my blogs from Hewie.net. But what I want to show you is we're going to open up a new document. We'll do a new blank document. And this time in Word, what we're going to do is instead of dictate, we're going to transcribe. And what transcribe means that we're able to either upload an audio or start dictating, which would basically be what we were just doing. But we're going to upload an audio file. What I did is I took 2 minutes of discussion from one of my Windows Special Interest Group meetings. Actually, it wasn't during the meeting. It was before the meeting where we just were talking back and forth. And I took a 2-minute section out of that. And I am going to upload that. And this is the clip I'm going to upload. It's 2 minutes long. It's 10 megabytes. It's actually 1 minute and 43 seconds. And we're going to say open it. And open it. Now I'm going to leave the recording going here and just be talking to show you real time how long a 1 minute and 43 seconds it takes to do the transcribing. And then I'm going to show you what you can do with that transcribing. What we're doing is we're taking an audio and visual file. It's an MP4. It actually has pictures to it, and I'll show it to you when we're done with this, just so you see what's going on. Probably should have did that before, but it's taking that and it's transcribing it. What it's doing the dictation that we did, doing from a recording directly into Word. And you'll see how it does it and some things that you can do with it in that transcription. So it's about 75, a little over 3/4 done. It'll be done here in just a few more seconds. Again, the reason I'm not cutting this, I wanted you to see in real time how long this takes, which isn't very long considering, it's an hour, 1 minute and 43 seconds. If you've got a real long file, you're going to go out and get a cup of coffee and come back. So it's not quick, but there we go. And there you can see on the right is our transcription. It's still not in our document. You'll see at the bottom it says add all to document, or you can do a new transcription. Let me go ahead and play part of this for you so you can see what it's doing.
Now Ron is going to bail on me today, and he's going to see the propeller heads, the Geeks on Tour.
So I'm Canadian. Who asked about the Canadians?
That was Bob G. We've got, I think it was Bob G.
No.
No? Okay. Well, we have my co-host for the...
Okay, so you can see that it goes back and forth. In most cases, it recognizes it was a different speaker. It didn't pick up Bob G's. It didn't pick up what he said, but you see it says speaker 1, speaker 2. Now what I can do is I know speaker 1 is me. So I can go like this and say speaker 1, highlight it, and then change that to Hewie. And you'll see down here, there's a box here first. I want to change all of speaker 1. Wherever it says speaker 1, that's me. So I want to go ahead and click on that, change all of them, and then click this. Bingo. So every one of those that said speaker 1 is Hewie. Now I know that speaker 2 is Nancy. So I'm going to change that to Nancy and click on this and click OK or confirm. It's now changed any time that Nancy spoke, it put Nancy's name. Speaker 3 was Stan. So I'm going to change that to Stan. Again, change all speaker 3 to Stan. Go ahead, click the check mark, confirm, and now all of them are changed. Now, Stan said something here where he said, let's see what he says here. Let's see if I can pick it up from here. Or I haven't figured out exactly how to get it to
Host for the Tech for Seniors is in Vancouver. And so
Okay.
we are well represented with Canadians on that show, and some of them come into this show, and some of them come into this show.
Let me back that up
Into this show as well.
My co-host for the Tech for Seniors is in Vancouver, and so
Okay.
we are well represented with Canadians on that show, and some of them come into this show as well, into this meeting.
Okay, so I'm Nancy. I'm from Sanford, Florida, but I've been here. I became a citizen in 1980, so I'm naturalized.
And Stan said, I didn't know that, and it picked it up as Walmart, so we can just go ahead and say, and we say, okay, so it changed the text. Now I can say add all to the document, and there's my transcription. I don't have to save it because it's Word Online. There is a way, but you'll notice at the beginning it also put the transcription in there, or the actual file, or told me where the file is. And let me just show you very quickly. Now Ron is going to bail on me today, and he's going to see the propeller heads, the Geeks on Tour.
So I'm Canadian. Who asked about the Canadians?
That was Bob G. So you see that that's what I took it from. You'll see that the article is here. The transcription is done. Did a nice job. I'm able to change it very quickly so you see what I said. And we have a transcription of everything that we have said from a recording from a Zoom meeting. So another piece of what you can do with your computer that you probably haven't been doing. And again, this is using the paid version of Word Online. And I pay $99 for, I think it's 6 licenses that I can give to anyone who I want for each year. So it's $100 a year by 6. It's less than $20 a person per year. So, and you can buy a single license, I believe it's for like $69 or $79 for the year. So you can have this service for that amount. I have I'm working another presentation that will be using the free version of Microsoft Office Online. It will not have the capability to do the transcribing, but it will have the ability to do the dictation. Here are a few notes that I'd like to add to this presentation. Transcribe in Word is available today in Word for the web for all Microsoft 365 subscribers and is supported in the new Microsoft Edge or Chrome browsers. With Transcribe, you are completely unlimited into how much you can record and transcribe within Word for the web. Remember, we talked about, or I mentioned, that you had the choice of either recording or uploading. This is in the recording portion. Currently, there is a 5-hour limit per month for uploaded recordings, and each uploaded recording is limited to 200 megabytes. So you want to use the audio portion of a Zoom meeting and not the video and audio file. Transcribe and Office Mobile will be coming by the end of the year. Currently, transcribing audio into English is the only language supported, but they are working on support for more languages. The recording is linked at the top of the document, if you remember, and it is linked to a copy that is stored, that it stores on your OneDrive. So that's it for transcribing with Microsoft Word. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Well, thanks, Hewie. So, Hewie, I have a great idea.
Okay.
Let's take all 23 recordings of Tech for Senior. We'll run them through there and make a book. And then we can get Chris and Jim to bind it for us. And then we can sell Tech for Seniors and we have a book. And we don't have to do any work. What do you think?
And you, me, and Bob will be the only ones that'll buy it.
We gotta go now. So
we'll get pre-orders. We'll get Chris to help us with the pre-orders, eh?
Yep. And I do want to add one other thing at the end of the meeting, after we sign off and stop the recording. If anyone, remember the little short video I did that I did some, they're not really caricatures, they're more cartoons of pictures. If you want to stay on, I'll do a bigger picture and I'll turn them into a cartoon for you. And if you'll give me your an email address, I'll send them to you, or we'll just put them together. The one at Dewey came out really nice, and it was just one that I had featured in when he was speaking one time, so it was in a bigger window. The one of Larry and the one of Greg, they were just from the little icons that are on your screen in Zoom, and they didn't. They came out all right, but they were just little pictures. So anyone who wants to stay on at the end, I'll see what I can do with my new toy. Okay, I'll turn it back to you.
We're always looking for a new intro, so we may even change the intro from our regular intro to something like that. I really liked it. I thought that was really good, Hewie. I thought that was cool.
I love playing with these toys, and
I don't know where you come
I'm anxious to start learning how to use Google Photos more than just uploading to Google Photos.
Hey,
that's
Hewie,
about all I do with it.
Huey, good job. I liked it. And I liked your little presentation before, too. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Bob, you're up. You're up again.
Again? I'm not ready for you. I'll have to do it the hard way. Let's see. Where are we? To close this and have to open this one. Good morning. I was so involved with what Huey was doing, I didn't do this in the background like I should have. Good morning. This is going to be a simple little test, and what we're testing are two headsets, or the headset that I'm wearing right now costs well over $100. It is supposed to have better audio, and it is supposed to have a better mic. I guess we'll find out once I compare this to the cheaper one, and we can test or judge for ourselves, is it really worth spending all that extra money? So I've changed gears, and now I'm wearing the less expensive, less bulky Logitech headset that costs about $30. Happens to be my favorite, but it costs about $100 less than the one that I had on the first part of this recording. I can tell you this is not as bulky. It doesn't cover my ears as tightly as the other one. I guess it doesn't block the sound quite as well as the other one. But this one is easy to put on, easy to take off. I'll let you be the judge. Which one sounds better? And is it really worth spending an extra $100+ for the big bulky one? You be the judge. You let me know.
Thank you. I couldn't tell a difference.
I did. I thought the cheaper one sounded much better.
Correct. I agree with you. Cheaper one sounds better. The difference is the expensive one, although you saw a wire, is normally without a wire. I had to charge it for the demonstration. It had been sitting doing nothing for quite some time. But that one cost me $130. I will post the information about both of them in the chat, so you have the information for the two, and then you can decide. But for me, there's a difference in the audio portion. So if you're listening to music, yes, it is better on the bulky set. Maybe that's what you're paying the extra money for. But if you're using it for recording, I prefer the one I have on right now.
Hey, Bob, I use the Logitech, and I enjoy it. It fits very comfortable.
Yeah, well, the other one is also a Logitech. Both are Logitech.
Oh, well, I have the cheaper one, and I don't have enough hair to support the big, heavy one.
Well, thanks so much, Bob. Speaking of microphones, our expert today, who used to own a sound recording studio, who is probably one of the experts on microphones. He's a personal friend of mine. and also is a Dragon Naturally Speaking expert on speech dictation. So that, of course, is Dewey. Dewey Clues, where are you, Dewey? Are you around?
I'm here. And so I'm ready to share my screen.
You can go right ahead.
Okay. I'm not seeming to get there. Whoops.
There you go.
Oh, just a second. Oh, I got myself out of the meeting. Am I in a problem? What happened?
Nope, you're fine. We can hear you.
Just Alt-Tab and you'll get back to the meeting.
Oh, there we go. Thank you so much there. Okay, Alt-Tab. And okay, Alt-Tab, and I've got to pick out which one I want to go to. Well, I can't find my, well, listen, something went wrong. We'll do this. Okay, that was the problem. I had my old Gmail up. And so we're going to share. Am I still with you?
Yep, you're fine.
Okay, here we go. I'm kind of forgetting what I'm doing. This is a different way of doing it. Okay. Today's presentation is called Voice to Text, but before we get there, I do want to say good morning to everyone. I'm trying something new today, a PowerPoint presentation. I'm 86, just a moment, note there. Okay, I'm 86 and I've been doing Microsoft Word for for nearly 27 years. After seeing myself on YouTube presenting recently, I decided, one of our Tech for Seniors meetings, I decided to make a big change in the way I'm doing things. So I took about 40 minutes and learned how to do a PowerPoint presentation. This is the first one I've ever completed. It looks a little crude, but I hope the good Lord will give me enough time to improve. So here it goes. I do want to first, however, give a shout out to Bob on that, his appraisal of several different headset microphones. That was very interesting because when you do voice to text, one of the most important things is to get good accuracy, you need to come in close, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, my topic today is voice to text. This is using your spoken voice instead of your fingers on a keyboard to enter text into a computer. I guess I've got my picture up here. I want to get that off the screen.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Anyway, now if you're a fast typist on computers or tablets and have lightning fast thumbs to use on your smartphone, voice to text may not appeal to you. For others like me, voice to text can make search and text entry much, much easier. Last week, Hewie Poplock did a great presentation on Google Docs voice typing. I learned, just a minute, honey. Okay. Oh, something is not working. Oh, I know what I didn't do. Excuse me.
Oh, it's the learning curve.
I'm learning, so here we go with this part here. What a learning curve. Okay. Okay, my wonderful wife is helping me. And I talked about Hewie doing that great job on Google Docs voice typing. I learned that voice typing in Google Docs uses the same voice to text system that's found throughout nearly everything that's Google, including Android phones. Google calls it voice typing. I think that's a clever and appropriate name. This technique of speech recognition has also been known as speech to text, voice to text, and by several other names. However, I'm most comfortable with the term voice to text, so I'll call it that today. Though the first research on voice to text goes back around 75 years, it wasn't until the late 1980s that advanced computers inspired a company in Southern California, the company was called Dragon, to begin serious development of speech recognition. In fact, I'm going to let you in a little secret. Our genial co-host, Ron Brown, once told me that he went to Southern California in the early 1990s and spent some time learning about speech recognition capabilities at the Dragon Company. He was a physician in Canada at that time, and he had earlier founded a software company with the goal of designing computer software to make it easier for medical doctors to record patient data. And I do hope that Ron will tell us about that at some time. In 1990, Dragon launched the first ever computer speech recognition program. It was called Dragon Dictate and had a price tag, get this, of 9,000 bucks. That's maybe 12 to 15 grand in today's money. In 1997, Dragon brought out a much improved product called Dragon Naturally Speaking that cost $700. It did require quite a bit of user training and was about 75 to 80% accurate. Dragon, however, is now owned by, has gone through a number of changes, and it's now owned by a fine multinational company called Nuance, and their naturally speaking software name is, it's well known, I think Ron just used it, is slowly fading away, being replaced by the name Dragon Anywhere. In 2011, Apple's iPhone 4S was introduced Siri's dictation feature to ask questions or enter other spoken texts. However, it was not using Google's speech recognition. Instead, because later on they used Google's, instead Siri was using Dragon's speech recognition technology that's still in use today. Isn't that interesting that the first Siri was using Dragon? Google began voice-to-text research in the early 2000s, and in late 2008, launched an app for the Apple iPhone, which used voice recognition technology that enabled users to ask questions using their voice. This app could tell when the user was lifting the phone up to their face and automatically triggered the voice recognition software that processed, I suppose we should say, the voice entry and instantly set it to a search query to Google. Increasingly faster data speeds allowed an almost immediate answer. Again, that was nearly 12 years ago. In 1999, after attending the CES convention in Las Vegas, I bought an early Dragon voice-to-text program. I don't remember what it was called, but it was designed for Microsoft Word. But I soon abandoned it because I found it difficult to use and its accuracy was only about 75 to 80% at best. So I just, I stopped messing around with the voice-to-text at that time. The good news is that improvements in computer technology processor speed over the last decade has brought speed and accuracy improvements to voice-to-text. The bad news is that accuracy is still short of 100% and typically ranges from 90 to 95% due to characteristics in the English language. I might mention here that I think Dragon probably has the best voice recognition product on the market. Google and such, Windows, they're doing fine, but there's another side to it called commands, and I'll talk about that for a moment. Hopefully, artificial intelligence will provide some new breakthroughs and increase the accuracy, because you have to understand context. That's what it's all about. One problem is that the English language has hundreds of sets of words that sound the same but have difficult spellings. Here are a couple of examples. They're going to their cabin and it takes a long time to get there. This sentence has the same pronunciation for 3 different words. There, as a contraction of they are, which is most people pronounce using 1 syllable instead of 2, and the possessive pronoun, the possessive pronoun T-H-E-I-R and the word T-H-E-R-E. Here's another example. You two have too many ways to write the number 2. Now that's 4 words with the same pronunciation. T-W-O, T-O-O, T-O, and the numeral spelling of the number 2. There are hundreds of examples like this in the English language, which obviously is why it makes accuracy so difficult unless we can get more artificial intelligence involved. So, as I said, context becomes a factor. The basics of voice to text. Quiet space. I think you need to hit it. There you go. Once more. The basics of quiet space. Wherever you dictate, your space needs to be as quiet and echo-free as possible. Although I've done it in crowds by holding my smartphone right up to my lips and cupping it tightly to my lips so I could do a search. Mic close-up. A high-quality headset mic is often the best because it's designed to be close to your mouth. However, one can use a high-quality directional mic, like my Blue Yeti Nano, up close, like at 2 to 6 inches from your mouth. Now, I'm talking to you at about a foot from the mouth on this Yeti Nano right now, but when I use it for voice recognition, I typically have it about 6 inches from my mouth, and the accuracy does increase. Speak distinctly. Look who's talking. Speak clearly, cleanly, and distinctly, taking care to pronounce all words properly. Always proofread. It's usually best to correct errors immediately. In any case, now, by the way, right now I'm talking like I would be dictating this to Dragon Naturally Speaking. In any case, be sure to always proofread the entire document carefully when you have finished, period. There's a lot more than I could tell you about making voice to text work better for you, but these are the basics, period. You have to remember that business. Thanks for listening and watching.
Thanks so much, Dewey. Thank you very much. That was excellent. And you did a good job for your first PowerPoint presentation. Well done.
Thanks.
Well done. Just unshare your screen there.
Oh, I have to. Now, wait a minute. I
Up on top.
Up on top. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
There you go. Well done. That was you did a very good job. You really did for your very first PowerPoint. That was it's great. Well, we look forward to a lot more from you in the coming weeks. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for helping us. Ray,
I do have a couple more things up my sleeve, by the way. One is colorization of black and white photos. I'll tell you more about.
There you go. We've got lots. Yeah, we got lots of time coming up. All right, Ray.
Yes.
Have you got some music for us today?
I think I can provide that.
Listen, I wanted to tell you, did you know, I really enjoyed that group last week, and I played their video so many times this week and listened to that song. But do you know the lead singer, I forget his name, do you know he was paraplegic? He was in a wheelchair.
I did not know that.
If you go back and you look at those videos, he's in a wheelchair. I thought, you got to be kidding. No, he wasn't standing. He was in a wheelchair. If you go back and you look at the side there, he's paraplegic.
Yeah, the band was named Disturbed. I don't remember his individual name, but on YouTube, you'll actually find another clip where he's talking with Paul Simon. And Paul Simon was thrilled to hear that version of their signature song.
Oh, that's good. That's cool. What have you got for us this week?
All right, first of all, I want to tell you, I learned something today about Zoom, that if you don't sign in with your account, you don't get the ability to do virtual backgrounds. So that's why you're seeing my tiny little office here, but that's okay. Let me start with two of my favorite contemporary singers today would be Adele and Bruno Mars. Bruno, multi-talented musician and songwriter. He actually got his start in Hawaii, his home state, at an age of 5 or 6 as an Elvis impersonator. And he made a career out of that with his family. By his own admission, he's been heavily influenced in his musical taste by the doo-wop music his father played in the house, and that certainly is what my main collection consists of. So Adele, on the other hand, is a singer from England. Many hits to her name. All I Ask song that she did is my personal favorite by her. If you've ever wondered about the first 3 albums she did, the titles are numbers, 19, 21, and 25. That represents the age she was when she recorded those songs. So here's your word of the day, mashup. What does mashup mean today? It basically means digitally combining and synchronizing instrumental and vocal tracks of 2 or more songs as if they were one. So we're going to see a perfect example of this, where some highly creative video editor with some very, very good video tools took 2 separate performances, one by Adele, one by Bruno Mars, of the same song, put them together, and you would think it was a duet when it was originally recorded.
Make sure you share your music, your sound as well when you do it.
Yes, sir. Did you like that?
Oh, that was great. That was really good. And they weren't singing it together. Like it was 2 totally different songs, right?
No, it was the same exact song at 2 different concerts. And
absolutely brilliant.
With a duet. And that's called And again, that's called the word of the day. It's called mashup. So now folks listening can tell your grandkids, you know what a mashup is.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot. We'll. All right. Hey, you know what?
A question was asked if we're meeting on Labor Day. Every day's a Labor Day or a vacation day, of course.
We're all retired, Bob, so it doesn't matter, right?
Well, and I might be home.
Yeah.
I might still be stuck too.
Exactly. So listen, I want to thank it's top of the hour. Another week's gone by. Oh my gosh, we're finished today. Hey Hewie, are you around next week?
I am definitely going to be here. It's Labor Day, and I'm going to labor. I'll be here.
Bob,
I plan on being here, same as every week. Stick around, folks. Hewie wants to take some pictures.
All right, and Ray and Dewey and everyone associated with the show will all be here next week. And I want to thank Chris and Jim Guld for coming and giving us a preview of her new book. Be sure and buy it, sign up, and so on and so forth. It's great. Thanks for coming. I also want to remind everybody is to go over to Tech for Senior and sign up for the newsletter so we can keep in touch with everybody. You'll be getting a newsletter probably tomorrow afternoon. I'll send you a note when this video is produced. We produced the video for YouTube, so it's on YouTube, so you can replay it and watch this again. I think today is probably our best show, but they keep getting better each week. I don't know how much better it is going to get, but wow, what a show today. So listen, I want to thank everyone for coming. We'll see everybody next week, same time, same place. I'm going to end the show now, but if you want to stay on, Dewey's he'll make some stuff up for you, and I'm not quite sure what he's got organized, but anyway,
Nothing.
I won't turn the show off, but I will stop the recording. So anyway,
good job, all.
Yep. See everyone next week. All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, take it away, Hewie. You got it.